Very well, I will add my olive plantations and vineyards." "This is still insufficient," cried Bartolo. "I will add the orchards, gardens, and houses." "I want something else." "What? Still more? Why, man, you must want paradise itself." "Not so. I want what you can give me this very moment. I want your daughter with whom I danced just now. Let her be my bride." "What, my daughter?" cried the old miser, in an ecstasy of joy. "By my faith, we shall soon conclude the bargain. Why did you not say so before?" He went to seek the girl, and told her of the engagement he had entered into. But his daughter, in utter amazement, cried out: "But what if he be a wicked elf, and all he does be witchcraft?" "You have an amulet of coral hanging from your neck. It is an antidote against all witchery." "And what if he be Satan himself?" "I will give you a piece of blessed candle, and he will have no power over you," replied the unrelenting father. Taking her hand, he led her to the stranger, who was already on his horse, and assisted her to mount behind her future husband. Taking the cage with the bluest of birds, he watched the retreating forms of the pair as the horse carried them away swifter than the wind, and when out of sight, he proceeded to join his guests. The company were all gathered in knots, discussing the extraordinary powers of the bird, and all the events which had taken place. "Peace, peace!" cried the lords of the castle, as he entered. "I will perform more marvellous things than ever he did. I have given him my daughter to wed in exchange for the bird, and this blue bird will render me more wealthy than the King of Aragon. Approach, and see the wonders I will work with it." He took the cage, and lifted it up to look at the bird, was astonished to find that it was not blue at all, but a large grey bird, which turned to stare at him in an insolent manner, gave a fierce peck at the door of the cage with its beak, flung it open, and flew out of the window uttering a terrible screech. The lord of the castle stood with open mouth, not knowing what to do or say. His guests broke out in peals of laughter at his discomfiture, and the well-deserved punishment for his unseemly avarice in exchanging his beautiful daughter for a worthless bird. Meanwhile, Bartolo was galloping on with his bride to the nearest town to be married, and when he arrived at the first hostelry, he wished to dismount and engage the most splendid suite of apartments for his intended wife, but he found himself utterly penniless. He had not calculated that in parting with the bird he had parted with his luck, and therefore, as soon as he dismounted the horse disappeared, and his elegant dress became changed for the shabby one he had worn before he met the kind individual who had wished to befriend him. When the beautiful daughter of the lord of the castle beheld the transformation which had taken place, she ran back to her father as fast as she could, fright lending wings to her feet. Bartolo had to return to his old life of making cages, and to his miserable existence. End of The Bird Cage Maker.